what's up? Hi, guys and girls, how are you doing? Seems like a lot of question answer is going on in the chat. Hi, am I audible? Can you hear me? Can you see me clearly? Yes, hello, hi Dolly, Maria. Hi Tishan, Tanishka, Bablu, Saima, BYJU'S. Hi, okay, great. How are we all doing? Sab theek thaak? Yes? Okay, chalo, we have a lot to cover in today's class, so I think we should get started, but बातचीत तो बीच-बीच में चलती ही रहेगी. Hi, okay, welcome. सब लोग जल्दी आ जाओ. Come on, quickly, let's get started. This is your writing skills in one shot. So we will be covering 6 different types of things that you are supposed to write in your exams. Okay? So if there's something that doesn't apply to you or your syllabus, you can skip it. हो सकता है आपको बाद में एग्जाम में आए तो पढ़ लो. But whatever applies to you will definitely be covered today. Okay? Hi, those of you who are having your first live with me, great to have you here. My name is Asmita. I teach you English and I'm very happy to have you here, okay? Alright, should we get started? क्या हो गया इतना रोने वाली शक्ल बना के? प्लीज कौन बोल रहा है? क्या प्रॉब्लम हो गई? Oh, Tanishka saying it's a rare event. No, it's going to become a more regular event. Don't worry. Okay, so let's get right to it. What are we going to cover today? क्या है? You're going to do notice writing, diary entry, formal letter, informal letter, article and report. Okay? So there are a lot of things that we're going to cover today. Let's get started with the first thing, which is writing a notice. Now, who can tell me what the purpose of writing a notice is? Very quickly, I want the answer in the chat. What is the purpose of writing a notice? Notice से हमें क्या समझ में आता है, क्या मिलता है? Yes, to give information, to inform. Very good, Neelam. Great job. Yes, to give some kind of information. So should a notice be very, very long or should it be short? Should it be like a novel or should it be crisp and short? Yes, very good, Shailesh. It's an announcement. Yes, Gurdeep, very good. Very good, all of you. झट से जवाब आया, it should be short. Okay, so should it contain only the necessary information कि आप कोई भी कहानी लिख सकते हो नोटिस में? Should it contain necessary information or whatever you feel like writing? आपके दिल में जो बात है आप नोटिस में लिख दो. Yes, necessary information only. अच्छा, दिल में जो बात है वो लिखने के लिए हम क्या करते हैं? वो किस में लिखते हैं जो हमारे दिल में बात होती है? बहुत सारी बातें आती है दिल में, दिमाग में. Where do we write those things? Yes, very good, Shailesh, Anshika. In a diary or, as some of you are saying, in an informal letter also. Very good. So you have your basics in place. किसी ने लिखा भी है कि in about 50 words we should finish our notice. Very good. मैं नाम देखना भूल गई, but perfect. So you all know exactly what the purpose and point of a notice is. It is to announce something important. It could be an event, okay? It could be some news, some schedule and so on. Have you seen a notice in your school? Give me a thumbs up if you've seen. Notice board नाम की एक चीज़ होती है ना जिसमें हम notice लगाते हैं. आपने कभी जाके पढ़ा भी है कि notice board में क्या लिखा है? So एक वो physical notice हो गया जो आप स्कूल में देखते हो. Correct? You've seen it. If you've seen it, give me a thumbs up. Great. You are the very good students who go and read the notice board. All right. And एक और तरीके का notice होता है. Can somebody tell me ये दूसरे तरीके का notice हमें कहाँ मिलता है? एक तो जो physically आपको दिखाई दे रहा है notice board पे, there's some other place also where you can find a notice, some kind of notice. I'm not talking about school, office, इन सब जगहों पे तो मिलेगा, society में मिलेगा. Where else? Online. Very good, Subhashri. Nowadays we can find notices on websites also. When you open a website for maybe your school, कोई government website, they have to give you some important information. आपको दिखाई देगा कि notice आया हुआ है, and then you open that notice. maybe it will get downloaded in a PDF form, or it will open on your computer, and you can see a notice online also. So nowadays we can find notices online also. ठीक है? Now let's quickly see how. Now these are, again, we have covered these points already. This is just a quick brush up for you. Inform people of an event and maximum reach for a piece of information. Okay? So when I say the word notice, you will automatically think, अच्छा ये पढ़ लेते हैं, इसमें कुछ important होगा. Like the last day to do something. ये that is important because if you miss the deadline, then you won't be able to do it. Okay, maybe the last day to register for a competition, last day to pay fees for your school, वरना बाहर निकाल देंगे. You know, there are multiple types of notices that are important for you to read. तो notice word देखते ही हमें पता चल जाता है कि ये important है, we should do it. Okay, and हमारे पास दुनिया भरे का टाइम तो है नहीं. ऐसा तो नहीं है कि हम बेड में लेटे हुए हैं और नोटिस पढ़ रहे हैं तो जितने भी पेजेस का नोटिस हम पढ़ ले. नो, वी आर probably busy doing something in the middle of which we are reading a notice. So it needs to be as short as possible so that you don't waste people's time. Okay? Some drawings. Disha is saying we decorate the notice board in our school. So when there's nothing, no information to give, we put art over there. अच्छी अच्छी drawings बना के, poems बना के वहाँ पे लिख दे, लगा देते. That's also good way to use the notice board. Okay, but don't do that in your exam, please. So what all do you have to include in your notice? See, there is no one format to write a notice. आप देखोगे एक notice दूसरे notice से हमेशा अलग होता है in real life. Okay, but for the purpose of exam, we follow a basic format. And if your teacher in school has told you something, like a lot of teachers will tell you what to put your notice in a box. बोला है आपकी teacher ने? Give me a thumbs up if your teacher has said this. Some of you have seen the notice outside staff room. Yes, your teacher has said this. So if your teacher has told you put your notice in a box, then put your notice in a box, okay? अगर नहीं बोला है, then you don't have to do it. That's what I'm saying. There's no set format, but there are some basic rules logically that we will follow in our notice writing. So you have to put the name of the organization that is issuing the notice, so that you मतलब ऐसा भी हो सकता है ना कि आपके स्कूल के बाहर एक नोटिस लगा हुआ है. अब चलता फिरता हर इंसान वो नोटिस पढ़ेगा तो फ़ायदा नहीं है, बिकॉज दे डोंट गो टू योर स्कूल. It doesn't apply to them. It only applies to the people who go to your school. So putting the name of the organization is necessary so that you know whether or not it's necessary for you to read the notice. वरना हम दुनिया का हर नोटिस जाके तो पढ़ेंगे नहीं ना, ऐसे तो हमारा बहुत टाइम वेस्ट होगा, राइट? करेक्ट. ओके, देन पुट द हेडिंग नोटिस ताकि पता चल जाए कि नोटिस है. देन यू पुट द डेट, क्योंकि कभी कभार क्या होता है कि हम नोटिस बोर्ड में कुछ लगा तो देते हैं, वो वहाँ पे लगा रह जाते हैं. 2 साल हो गए, 3 साल हो गए, किसी को याद ही नहीं आया कि चलो ये उतार भी देते हैं. सो आपको लगेगा कि अरे हमारे एग्ज़ाम्स आने वाले हैं कल से. मेरे को तो लगा एग्ज़ाम्स 1 महीने बाद है, एग्ज़ाम्स कल से स्टार्ट हो रहे हैं, मैंने तो कुछ पढ़ाई भी नहीं की. फिर थोड़ी देर बाद आपको पता चलेगा अरे ये नोटिस तो 5 साल पुराना है. ठीक है, that's why you have to write the date so that you know exactly when the notice was issued. Okay, headings mentioning the content. So if it's notice for participation in annual day and you're like मेरे को नहीं participate करना annual day में, then you can ignore the notice and move on with your life. It doesn't apply to you. Okay, then body of the announcement less than 50 words, short and crisp, and signature of the issuing authority. अब ऐसा तो नहीं है कि मेरा कल को मन करे कि मैं गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया की तरफ से नोटिस लिख दूँ और मैं नोटिस लिख के कहीं पे डाल दूँ और आप लोग मानने लग जाओ. मेरा मन किया मैं ट्रैफिक रूल्स चेंज कर रही हूँ, अब रेड लाइट पे रुकना नहीं है, रेड लाइट पे चलना है और ग्रीन लाइट पे रुकना है, और ये नोटिस बना के मैंने डाल दिया कहीं पे और लोग मानने लग, कितना केओस हो जाएगा, राइट? आई डोंट हैव द अथॉरिटी टू चेंज द रूल्स एंड इशू अ नोटिस ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया. आई डोंट हैव दैट अथॉरिटी. सो इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर यू टू गिव द सिग्नेचर so that the person reading the notice knows that it is a legitimate notice. किसी के पास authority है तभी उन्होंने ये notice लिखा है. Okay, these are the reasons why you add these particular things in your notice. All right. So the notice should cover what? So what is the information that you're giving regarding what, where, if it's an event, if it's venue for your examination, center for your examination, whatever it is, you add that under where and when. Date इसीलिए लिखते हैं और आप ये भी लिखोगे कि कब से कुछ शुरू हो रहा है, खत्म हो रहा है, whatever it is. Okay, so just keep this in mind. You are going to ask all the 5 W questions. Who, नोटिस किसके लिए है, एंड the notice, no, who is the authority who has written the notice, and whom, किसके लिए notice है. Okay, we'll see an example of how notice is written. Okay, so now here's your question. Write a notice to inform your school about an upcoming cultural event. So इसमें क्या हो रहा है, cultural event हो रहा है, and you can see, इसमें आपको बोला नहीं गया है in ancient, but Acha, see, Ayush, if your teacher has told you to write 90 to 120 words, then go ahead and write 90 to 120 words if your teacher has specifically told you. But generally, we follow the 50-word limit for notice because the point of a notice is for it to be short. Now, if your teacher has said, आप इतना लिखो, तो आप लिख दो, आपकी teacher ने बोला है तो, okay? All right. So, here, I haven't told you what your authority is. So, you can make it up. अब कोई cultural event हो रहा है, आपकी अथॉरिटी क्या होगी उसके बारे में नोटिस लिखने का? आप कुछ ना कुछ होगे अपने स्कूल में, कल्चरल सेक्रेटरी हो सकते हो, whatever designation your school follows. Yes, yeah, you can really imagine yourself to be head girl. You need to imagine yourself to be someone who has the authority to issue this notice. Organization का नाम क्या होगा? Your school's name, because it's a cultural event in your school. Okay, all right. So how will we write this? First we will write the name of our organization, ABC Senior Secondary School. If you want to write the name of your school, go ahead and write the name of your own school. Next you're going to write notice. इसमें भी there is a discrepancy. Sometimes your teacher says to write it in full capital letters. This also happens in some schools. आपके साथ हुआ है, आपको आपके टीचर ने बोला है full capital में लिखने के लिए? Has this happened to anybody? Yes? Okay, so if your teacher has told you to write the word notice in all caps, then you write it in all caps. That's okay. If your teacher has not said this, you can write it like this also. No problem. Okay? Alright. Then you write the date. Okay? After you write the date, you're going to write what the announcement is. You're announcing a cultural event. So we have just given a name to that cultural event. We're calling it Pinnacle. You can call it whatever you want, okay, but it should be an appropriate name. Okay, all right. Then what is your notice? We are pleased to announce that Pinnacle, our inter-school cultural event, will take place. You are going to give the date of when it is taking place, correct, so that everybody knows. Students who are interested in planning the event are to assemble in the auditorium on 20th July 2023 at 3 p.m. So again, the notice ka question didn't tell you exactly what you're writing a notice for. It's just about an upcoming cultural event. So when you're writing a notice about an upcoming cultural event, it could be about participation. If you want to participate, it could be about audition, or like given here, it could be about planning it, correct? It could be about any of these things, correct? So here we have said those who are interested in planning. You can also write those who are interested in to audition for it, okay? And then you given a date and a time again. Other details will follow soon. Let's make this event a grand success. Then you write your name, and then you write what your designation is. With what authority are you issuing the notice? In this case, I've written Cultural Coordinator of ABC Secondary School, okay? Alright, and you could give it any name. We have given Pinnacle over here. We can give it any name. It's up to you entirely. Alright, now let's write a notice together. Here we are. Assume you are the secretary of a housing complex. This is not a school, this is a society, a housing complex. Write a notice to inform residents about the importance of waste segregation. What is waste segregation? Very quickly, who will tell me? What is waste segregation? Yes, we are doing diary entry and letter writing also. Pinnacle ka matlab, those of you are asking me, tell me what it means when we say somebody has reached the pinnacle of success. Pinnacle of success. What do you think it means? Think about it. Yes, the highest point, the top, peak of something, okay? That's pinnacle. Okay, here you are saying segregation is separation of waste. Very good. किस में separate करते हैं? What do we separate the waste into? आपने 2 टाइप के डस्टबिन देखे होंगे, उसमें ऐसे रिसाइकलिंग का वो भी बना रहता है, और एक में हम सिर्फ ड्राई वेस्ट डालते हैं, दूसरे में वेट वेस्ट डालते हैं. हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू डू दिस एट होम? हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू आर सेग्रीगेटिंग योर वेस्ट एट होम? Yes, those of you are doing it. Very good, claps for you. Very nice thing that you're doing. And why does this help? It helps in recycling the waste. Alright? So those of you who don't do it, it's okay, you can always start doing it. Correct? So wet waste is usually the waste that comes out from our kitchen. Dry waste will usually be like paper, plastic, things like that. So wet will be more of organic waste. We can use it to make, fertilizer, compost, things like that. And dry waste can be sent for recycling, like plastic can be recycled and made into other things. Okay? So you have to inform residents about the importance of waste segregation. So what is the importance of waste segregation? It helps in recycling the waste. Alright, now let's try to put everything together. What is the first thing that we are going to write? Somebody has given it to me already. We are going to write, okay, that's the name you have given to your Swachh Society Abhiyan. That's a very good name. But first, what are we going to write? What is the first thing that we are going to write? Name of organization. So make one up. Give me one name. कुछ नहीं समझ आ रहा तो ABC Housing Society ही लिख देते हैं, ठीक है? But you can give any name. Okay? Then what are you going to write? What are you going to write next? Very quickly. We don't have so much time. School थोड़ी है, housing society है. Why are you writing the name of a school? Nagar Nigam is your municipal corporation. We are not talking about the municipal corporation. We are talking about the housing society. You are supposed to inform the people in your society to segregate their waste. This is not the municipal corporation saying anything. Yes, next thing you are going to write is notice. Then what are you going to write? You are going to write the date. Okay? हाँ, गोकुल धाम सोसाइटी लिख दो, अपनी सोसाइटी का नाम लिख दो, whatever you want to write. Okay? Then what are you going to write? Somebody gave me a very nice name, the Abhiyan name, but you can write anything. You can simply write waste segregation also. Okay? Alright? Then what are you going to say? You're going to give your information in the body that all the residents are hereby informed that according to the municipal corporation, we are supposed to segregate our waste. This means that waste in each house needs to be segregated into wet waste or dry waste, and then it will be deposited in the corresponding bin. Okay, and then you can also give some nice information. So apart from the wet waste and dry waste that we talk about, there's also something called e-waste. Who can tell me what e-waste is? E-waste क्या होता है? कौन बताएगा मुझे? Yes, electronic waste. Like what is it? Phones. Very good. Na zombie. Yes, phones and any other thing that is electronic. So कभी कभार हमारे electronics भी खराब हो जाते हैं. Phone तो बहुत ही जल्दी खराब होता है. Laptops. All of these are batteries. Yes, very good. All of these are electronic waste. We also have other type of waste. It's called medical waste. Sometimes you use a syringe. Okay. कभी किसी को कुछ You have एक डायबिटिक लोगों के लिए आपने देखा होगा शुगर नापने की मशीन होती है, उसमें you prick yourself, थोड़ा सा ब्लड निकलता है, उसको आप एक उसमें डालते हो मशीन के अंदर जिसमें आपके शुगर लेवल्स का पता चलता है. Stuff like that, they're all medical waste. So these need to be disposed of separately. And so you can add this point also in your notice that you will have a separate deposit point for e-waste and medical waste, right? So stuff like that also you can add in your notice. And then let's end your notice with let's cooperate so that we can keep our society and our city clean. Okay? Then you end like that. Finally you write your sign your name. and then you write your designation. What could it be your designation? You can be the president of your resident welfare society, or you can be the secretary of your housing complex, whatever it is. Okay, perfect. Yes, e-waste can be recycled. Very well said. E-waste is your electronic waste, like your phones that stop working. Okay, great. Now we are moving on to diary entry. Diary entry तो जल्दी जल्दी हो जाएगा. See, Sailesh, if your teacher specifically told you something कि आपको ऐसे ही करना है, तो follow, because there's not one format that we follow for every school. Every school can have some different changes, little bit. Okay, so if your teacher specifically told you something, follow that. Like I've told you, box में डालने को बोला है, caps में notice लिखने को बोला है. If they've told you something, follow that. Okay. कोई बात नहीं, Sofa, if you're not able to keep word limit in diary entry, it's okay to exceed the word limit. Nobody is going to count each word and say, अरे इसने 2 word ज़्यादा लिख दिए, अब तो मैं marks काटूंगी. That's not going to happen. Just when you practice, you write, you count and write. See how much space it takes you to write in that word limit. And just try to maintain that same space on your sheet of paper during your exam. Okay? Yes, we'll do report writing also. So diary entry is very simple. You told me diary entry में क्या लिखते हैं? अपने दिल की बात, मन की बात लिखते हैं. Okay? There is no format for diary entry. In fact, in your own life, when you write a diary, you can do anything. You can even draw in it. बचपन में मैं अपनी डायरी में drawings बनाती थी. I basically, whatever used to happen throughout the day, I used to make drawings of that in my diary. So you can do that at home, in your own personal diary. For the purpose of your exam, you are going to follow a format. What is that format? You're just going to, so you know the benefits of writing a diary. We don't have to go through this again. I think we've already been through this a couple of times. Helps you keep track of your day, discover how you feel, organize your thoughts. Okay, and best thing is it can help you improve your writing. So what is the basic format that we'll follow for the purpose of your exam? We'll write the date and time. Okay, write your diary in the first person so you can express yourself better, and begin by saying dear diary. Okay, easy. Then what are you going to write inside your diary? You're going to describe. So you'll get a question. You're going to obviously follow कि question में क्या लिखा हुआ है. तो question में जो भी लिखा हुआ है उस हिसाब से आप अपनी diary entry कर दोगे. Now sometimes ऐसा question आता है जो आपके साथ real life में हुआ है. So in that case you can write your personal experience only. But अगर कभी ऐसा कुछ आता है जो आपके साथ नहीं हुआ, then what are you going to use? This word starts with I and it's a very useful word. What are you going to use? Who can tell me? Yes, very good, Shailesh. Perfect. Imagination. Very good, Madhu. Very good, Harshika. So yes, you are going to use your imagination. So if something has not happened to you, don't panic and don't say मैं कैसे लिखूंगा, because you have this thing in the middle of your two eyes that's occupying all of this space, which is a very great thing that you have. Use it, imagine. Okay? And write, depending upon what question you have, you can write a diary. So let's take a look at a question. Here we have, and you end by writing your name and signature. वो तो, see, this is something that is common in all your writings, mostly. That you're going to end by writing your name. Correct? Okay. So here's your question. Write a diary entry about your audition and selection for a school play. Now let's start by asking how many of you have ever auditioned and gotten selected for a school play? How many of you have done theatre in school? So okay, a lot of you have. Perfect. Those of you who are asking me ये करेंगे वो करेंगे ये करेंगे, see, in the beginning of the session only I told you what the 6 things are that we are going to be doing. But if you have doubts, for example, if you're saying email writing कैसे करेंगे, then I'll tell you that's very close to how we write a letter. Correct? We follow more or less the same things. So at the end of the session we'll go over that also. Very good. Okay, so those of you who have done this in your life, easily you can write a diary. Those of you who haven't, just imagine कि शायद मैंने कभी audition किया था और मेरा selection हो गया था. प्ले भी सोच लो, मैंने पता नहीं किस, जो भी आपका मन हो, मैंने रोमियो एंड जूलियट के लिए किया था, मैंने रामलीला के लिए ऑडिशन दिया था, whatever you feel like. Okay, all right, so here's your sample. Start with your day, Saturday. Then you have the date, then you have the time, then you write dear diary. So this is your format, very simple. And ये last में अपना नाम sign करोगे, ये तो याद रहेगा, very easy, correct? Then what are you going to write in your diary? Today was an exciting day. I got selected for the school play. I am so happy. We had auditions for the school play for the cultural event Pinnacle. तो see, we've joined, हमने इसको जोड़ दिया अपने notice writing से. That वो उसी same event के लिए I audition. Every year I try to be part of the play, but somehow it was possible only this year. My audition went superbly. They asked me to read for a part and I knocked it out of the park. What does it mean to knock something out of the park? We are going to do article writing, Asmi, if that's what you're asking. What does it mean to knock something out of the park? मतलब इतना अच्छा कर दिया कि क्या बताऊं कितना अच्छा कर दिया. Okay, so yeah, did a very great job, did it wonderfully, good at it, amazing at it, very good. So they said that my audition was the best. I'm so happy. Practice begins tomorrow. What a day. Easy. मन की बात डाल दी. अब मन की बात बोल दिया मैंने, पर इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि आप गलत स्पेलिंग, स्लैंग वाली लैंग्वेज, बैड लैंग्वेज ये सब यूज करोगे. डोंट डू दिस, देन यू विल नॉट गेट मार्क्स इन योर एग्जाम. ठीक है? राइट इट इन correct English, grammatically sound English. That's how you will get marks. Don't make spelling mistakes. Even in your personal diary you can do all of that, but don't do it for your exam wali diary entry. Okay? Okay, now here's another prompt. You just quickly give me a few points कि हम क्या-क्या डाल सकते हैं इसमें. Write a diary entry describing the day you got your first bicycle. This is something that's happened to majority of us. कभी ना कभी हमें अपनी फर्स्ट बाइसिकल मिली. माई फर्स्ट साइकिल वॉज माई सिस्टर्स ओल्ड साइकिल. ऐसा भी होता होगा कुछ लोगों के साथ. मेरे को मेरी बड़ी बहन के पुरानी साइकिल मिल गई, दैट वॉज माई फर्स्ट साइकिल. बड़ी बहन के पुराने कपड़े मिल रहे, दोज वर माई फर्स्ट क्लोथ्स, है ना. दैट हैपन्स टू अ लॉट ऑफ अस, स्पेशली द यंगर सिबलिंग. बट दिस इज समथिंग दैट्स मोर और लेस हैपन टू एवरीबडी. सो यू कैन राइट अबाउट दिस. व्हाट विल यू राइट? एंड इफ इट्स नॉट हैपन टू यू, इट्स फाइन. इमेजिन. ठीक है? So we are going to start with what? Day. So Wednesday लिख दिया. 30 August 2023 लिख दिया. What are we going to write next? We're going to write the time. क्या हो रहा है time? 7:30 लिख दिया. And then we are going to write dear diary. And then in the body, what are some points that we can write? This you have to tell me. How did you feel? You were so happy because your parents got your new bicycle. हो सकता है maybe on your birthday because you did very well in your exams. Okay? They took you to a store. There you saw the bicycle in your favorite color and you requested your parents to get you that bicycle and they agreed. Describe the cycle, talk about the color, talk about how fun it was to ride it, talk about how the bell sounds, talk about the things that you want to add to it, how you want to decorate your cycle, how you can't wait to ride your bicycle with your friends. ठीक है? These are the kind of things you can write. Yeah, you can write about how when you were riding it for the first time you were a little scared because you couldn't balance, but your parents put training wheels on the cycle and then you were able to ride it, and then finally you took out the training wheels and were able to ride it without the training wheels. Okay? All of this information you can. Yeah, my joy holds no bounds. Wah. So if you know any phrases like this, feel free to add them. Okay? But as long as you're using them correctly. ठीक है? हाँ जी Humaira, you are half an hour late, but it's okay. You can go back and watch the session, ना? I was on cloud 9, but Shailesh, cloud और 9 के बीच में space आएगा. ठीक है? Perfect. Okay, now let's move on to formal letter. Who can tell me what the difference between a formal letter and an informal letter is, and don't tell me कि informal letter के आगे in लगता है और formal letter में नहीं लगता है. Tasmia, see, your general, you follow this as your word limit if it's not given to you. If it's given to you, then you do it. Again, see, you should cover all the important information. Whatever it is that you think needs to be written in a diary entry, write it. As long as it's long enough, covers everything, you're good to go. Don't worry too much about मैंने कितने words लिखे हैं, ठीक है? Who is not your relative? Okay, that's a good point, Soumya. Correct. For office, for any kind of formal communication, Ayush, no, you can respect people in that you know informally also. आप अपने मामा, मामी, चाचा, चाची, उन सब की respect तो करते ही हो ना, लेकिन उनको formal letter नहीं लिखोगे. When you want to get something done, कोई काम कराना है आपको किसी से, official काम, right? कोई एप्लीकेशन देनी हो, वेरी गुड. प्रिंसिपल को लेटर लिखना हो, किसी एडिटर को लेटर लिखना हो, गवर्नमेंट अथॉरिटी को लेटर लिखना हो, परफेक्ट. ऑल ऑफ यू नो, वेरी गुड. सो फॉर्मल लेटर इज रिटन टू somebody who's not close to us, somebody that we do not know personally. It's written officially. That's why the language uses formal. It is not casual. Okay? Because it's written to communicate serious and official matters. Okay? All right. So what do we write? When do we write formal letters? To inform someone of something, to apply for a job, to respond to a formal query, when we want a response to a formal query, or we want to respond to a formal query, and some other official communication. ठीक है? Correct. So, sometimes we have concerns, especially when we are writing to the municipal corporation. We are usually complaining about something कि garbage पड़ा हुआ है, कोई उठा के नहीं लेके जा रहा, लाइट्स नहीं है हमारी कॉलोनी में, सीसीटीवी कैमरा लगाओ क्योंकि हमें सिक्योरिटी चाहिए. इन टाइप की चीजें जब हम लिखते हैं, दिस इज व्हेन वी हैव कंसर्न्स दैट वी वांट टू टेल एन अथॉरिटी फिगर अबाउट, or we want to provide some official information, we want to address the concerns of a group, sometimes we want to place an order or something like that, then also we write a formal letter. What is the format of writing? So here format is very important. When you are writing a formal letter, always make sure you're sticking to the format because you get marks for the format. Why do you want to lose marks ऐसे फालतू में, right? Yes, when there are potholes in the roads, and because of that a lot of commuters are having problems. Maybe there have been accidents because वो pothole में टायर जाता है, two wheelers disbalance हो जाते हैं, a lot of things can happen. Correct? Okay. So here what are we going to say first? We're going to write the name and address kiska of the sender. Who is the sender? If I am writing a letter to you, who is the sender? Me or you? Yes, I am the sender. I am writing a letter to you. I am the sender. Yes, very good. Perfect. And what are you? You are the you. Receiver, very good. You are the receiver. Okay. So first I'm going to write the name and address designation of the sender, then name, address, designation of the receiver. Then I'm going to write the date. Okay. Followed by a salutation. Now in a formal letter, I told you that you don't know the person that you're writing to personally. And you're writing it for a very serious issue or some official matter. So our salutation is always going to be sir or ma'am. Okay. ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा, for example, if it's your principal, then you can also put dear. ठीक है? But this is what we're going to use. how you're addressing someone. That's your salutation. Okay? Then you're going to write the subject line. Now the subject line supposed to be very short or long? Is the subject line supposed to be short or long? Very good, Zikra. Correct. It should be short, but it should cover the basic gist of why you are writing the letter. Correct? And those of you saying, should we write ma'am? तो ये तो कभी भी नहीं लिखना है. Who can tell me what is wrong with this? इसमें क्या गलती है? Who can tell me what is wrong with this? Spelling, very good. Spelling is wrong. So if you write the wrong spelling, तो automatically आपके marks cut हो जाएंगे, right? So what are you going to write? And मैम में ऊपर ये हमेशा आता है, ठीक है? The apostrophe. So मैम लिखोगे. नहीं याद आ रहा तो मैडम लिख दो. Okay? All right. Those of you asking me discursive passage कब होगा? Manash, first of all, you're asking me for 9th, 10th का syllabus analytical paragraph. So we've already covered that. You want to go check out those videos, do that. Baki reading will happen later. This is your writing in one shot. Okay? Yes. So make sure that your spelling is absolutely correct. Don't lose out marks because you're making a spelling mistake. Correct. Okay. Then your body will have your basic intro, body and conclusion वाला format, and then end compliments. So इसमें क्या होता है? Yours faithfully or sincerely. ठीक है? Yours faithfully or yours sincerely. And then you will sign your name. Okay? If you have a designation, you can put your designation also over here. Okay, this is the format of the letter. Is that clear? Now, the tone of the letter should be formal and business-like. So, don't just say, even if you're complaining about an issue, you say that, you know, it's an inconvenience to the people or whatever, like, I don't like it, please fix it, please, 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 please fix it. You cannot talk like that in a formal letter, okay? Nobody will take you seriously otherwise. So you have to be very matter-of-factly, stick to the facts, stick to the points, and politely complain about whatever you have to, okay? No, Surinder, don't write any, see, stick to yours faithfully, yours sincerely. Otherwise, you can lose marks. I can't guarantee if you'll get marks for something else. Yours truly के लिए भी मिल सकते हैं. उसके अलावा कुछ भी बना के लिखोगे तो उसके marks नहीं मिलेंगे आपको. Unless your teacher is feeling very दयालु कि नहीं आज मैं marks दे देती हूँ. Okay? All right. Then, if the letter is a response to something that you had previously received, then that should be mentioned. So this is in response to your article, or this is in response to your letter about so and so. Okay? And then if the letter references something, then that reference should also be mentioned. So sometimes, especially when we write a letter to an editor, we are usually talking about maybe an article in the newspaper or something. So you should always reference that article. Okay? Alright, here's a question. Write a formal letter to the editor. अच्छा ये editor पे आ गया. Okay, of a newspaper mentioning that your street lacks lights impacting passerby safety. Okay, but in this case, we are not referencing something that the editor had given in a newspaper. We are essentially it's a complaint. We are in a मतलब आप देखो हम complain कर रहे हैं, लेकिन हम लोग जब अपने दिमाग में सोचते हैं कंप्लेन करना, तो मैं नहीं, आज मेरे को ये सब्जी नहीं खानी थी, मैं ये नहीं खाऊंगी, मैं ये नहीं खाऊंगा, मेरे लिए पास्ता बनाओ. हम जब कंप्लेन के बारे में सोचते हैं तो हमें ये वाला टोन आ जाता है दिमाग में. ये टोन मत लेके आओ. ऐसी टोन में कंप्लेन करोगे एडिटर को, nobody is going to listen to you. Okay, so Again, Madhu, 100, 120, 120, 150. That should be your limit, okay? So, you need to sound polite, confident, and respectful at the same time. In fact, you can try this with your parents also. Try saying it in a respectful manner. That, Mummy, I know you worked really hard today and I really appreciate the fact that you made lauki ki sabji. But it would be nice if sometimes you could treat me to a pasta. Try talking like that. See, your mother will also be impressed. She'll be like, कल ही बनाती हूँ मैं आपके लिए, ठीक है? All right. How are we going to write this letter now? नहीं, हिंदी में भी बोलो. प्योर इंग्लिश में बोलने की बात नहीं करी. But minimum word limit I told you 120, 150 के बीच में रखो. Now let's take a look at how we're going to write this letter. The question is clear to everybody. Okay. What are we going to start with? Name. एड्रेस में अगर आपको पिन कोड नहीं दिया हुआ तो आप डाल दो बना के. डजंट हैव टू बी द करेक्ट पिन कोड. रिसीवर्स एड्रेस. ओके. देन डेट एंड योर salutation. After your salutation, you will write the subject, lack of street lights. Okay. Then what will be in your body? You will say, I am writing to bring some attention to the plight of the residents and passerbys in Vasant Vihar. For a long time, Vasant Vihar was considered one of the best areas in New Delhi on the basis of infrastructure. But now the area lacks street lights, which are basic for ensuring the safety of the citizens living there and passing by. Over the past 2 months, now see, ऐसा हो सकता है that whatever you are writing a letter about, you haven't faced that problem. Just like in a diary, you haven't faced that problem, but you can think about the possible things that will happen if you face that problem. अगर आप सोचो, मैं आपको ये नहीं दिखा रही, अब आप मुझे बताओ कि क्या क्या प्रॉब्लम्स हो सकती हैं अगर स्ट्रीट लाइट्स ना हो. सेफ्टी का इशू है. किस किस सेंस में सेफ्टी का इशू होता है? एक तो आपको दिखाई नहीं दे रहा, एक्सीडेंट्स हो सकते हैं, करेक्ट. दूसरा, थेफ्ट हो सकता है. वेरी गुड आयुष. चोरी हो सकती है, करेक्ट अनु. सेफ्टी, वुमेन सेफ्टी स्पेशली इज अ बिग इशू, है ना. जहां अंधेरा ज्यादा होता है, स्ट्रीट लाइट्स नहीं होती है, वहां थेफ्ट भी होता है, क्राइम्स भी ज्यादा हो सकते हैं, करेक्ट. So all of this you can imagine that these are issues that can happen and this affects residents को. क्या affect करेगा? residents को सबसे ज़्यादा affect करेगा कि चोरियाँ हो रही है. चोरियाँ हो सकती है घर में. जो पासर बाय है, जो वहाँ से सिर्फ निकल रहे हैं, उनको क्या accidents या किसी और तरीके का crime, correct? So these are all issues. See, you are able to tell me what all issues can happen if there are no street lights. So that's all you have to put in your letter. You can give a random time कि इतना टाइम हो गया, 1 साल से नहीं है, 6 महीने से नहीं है, 2 महीने से नहीं है, जो भी टाइम लिमिट आपको डालनी है. So over the past 2 months there have been many accidents involving pedestrians and vehicles. Pedestrians कौन होते हैं? People who are walking. उनको सबसे ज्यादा डेंजर है बिकॉज कार्स में तो हेडलाइट्स होती है, आपके स्कूटर में भी हेडलाइट होगी, सो यू कैन सी. बट द पर्सन हु इज वॉकिंग, वो विजिबल नहीं होगा दूर से. कार स्पीड से जा रही है, आपको सामने से आती हुई गाड़ी तो दिख जाएगी, पर आपको सामने क्रॉस करता हुआ इंसान या समटाइम्स डॉग्स, समटाइम्स काउज, एनिमल्स नहीं दिखेंगे, करेक्ट. प्लाइट मीन्स द प्रॉब्लम दैट यू आर गोइंग थ्रू. परिणीता, yes, you can fall into potholes because you couldn't see, क्योंकि हेडलाइट्स भी एक एक्सटेंट तक ही लाइट मारती है ना. Cycling person also could get harmed. Okay? So, repeated requests to the municipal corporation have not yielded any fruit despite multiple accidents. So, here the first order of business is to write to your municipal corporation कि देखो भाई ये problem है, इसका हमें solution चाहिए. अब अगर म्यूनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन, गवर्नमेंट अथॉरिटी कुछ नहीं कर रही, देन यू गो टू द मीडिया. मीडिया में आपने एडिटर को बोला है कि ये गवर्नमेंट ने अभी तक कुछ किया नहीं है, इसलिए आई हैव कम टू यू. ओके, सो दैट यू कैन टेल द म्यूनिसिपल डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ वट एवर एरिया टू टेक क्विक एक्शन. ठीक है. We've also made multiple requests to the government. Now we appeal to you to consider this matter seriously and highlight it in your newspaper. We hope that the authorities will take cognizance of the issues and give us a suitable solution. cognizance मतलब they take notice of the issue, they acknowledge the issue. Okay, all right, very good Anu, great answer, but I wouldn't say your first point is valid, क्योंकि आपको अंधेरे से डर लगता है, वो तो ठीक है, रात को सोते हुए अंधेरे से डर लग रहा है, that's an issue, but रोड पे अंधेरे से डर लगना is not really an issue. इशू वहाँ पे और भी सीरियस इश्यूज है, लाइक यू हैव योरसेल्फ मेंशन्ड कि चेन स्नैचर्स होते हैं, फोन स्नैचर्स होते हैं, एक्सीडेंट्स हो जाते हैं, किडनैपिंग्स हो जाती हैं. ओके, ऑल राइट, देन योर सिंसियरली एंड यू साइन योर नेम. ओके, नाउ हियर्स अनदर, ओ थोड़ा overlap हो रहा है, but it still makes sense. Write a formal letter to the editor of a newspaper about the need for a construction of a playground for children near your place. Now instead of going into too much detail, आपको पता है, quickly tell me format of the letter क्या होता है. सबसे पहले क्या आएगा? quickly let's revise together. सबसे पहले क्या आएगा, कौन बताएगा? हाँ, तो senders, सब कुछ sender का, सेंडर्स एड्रेस जिसमें नेम भी आ ही जाता है अपने आप. ठीक है, देन क्या आएगा नेक्स्ट? क्विकली एज सून एज आई राइट द फर्स्ट वन, टेल मी व्हाट कम्स नेक्स्ट. नेक्स्ट आएगा रिसीवर्स. यस, किसी ने पूरा ही दे दिया मुझे. देन आएगा डेट. ओके, देन आएगा सैल्यूटेशन. देन आएगा सब्जेक्ट. देन आपका आएगा पूरा बॉडी ऑफ द लेटर. देन आपका आएगा कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री क्लोजिंग. देन आएगा अगेन योर सिग्नेचर विच इज जस्ट योर नेम. ठीक है, अब हमारी प्रॉब्लम क्या थी कि बच्चों के पास प्लेग्राउंड नहीं है. सो यू नीड फॉर कंस्ट्रक्शन ऑफ अ प्लेग्राउंड फॉर चिल्ड्रन इन योर प्लेस. क्विकली टेल मी द डिफरेंट पॉइंट्स व्हाई डू चिल्ड्रन नीड अ प्लेग्राउंड. क्यों चाहिए होगा उनको प्लेग्राउंड? Best points I will write down here. Reasons. Okay, to stay fit and healthy, very good. To enjoy, ठीक है. To relax बोल सकते हो. To play तो इसी में आ गया, exercise fit and healthy में आ गया, physical fitness में. Then हाँ, it's good for मेंटल एंड फिजिकल हेल्थ. और ठीक है, हुसैन हैज रेज्ड अ वेरी गुड पॉइंट दैट इट्स अ सेफ प्लेस. मतलब बेटर देन, आप कह सकते हो मच बेटर देन प्लेइंग ऑन द रोड्स. ठीक है, और यस, वेरी गुड पॉइंट. ऑनलाइन या फोन पे खेलना बंद करेंगे और बाहर जाके खेलेंगे, देन इट्स healthier for them. Very good, because they're getting addicted to being on their phones or computers all the time. Very good Anshika. Interacting with other kids, socializing. ठीक है? Interacting with other kids, socializing, making friends, community. So these are all the different points that you can add. Yes, it's very necessary for children to socialize, talk to other kids. That's how they'll gain self-confidence. That's how they'll gain the necessary social skills that they need to survive in the world. They are getting, this is also a very good point that you must add, that you know, lot of people, because आजकल पढ़ाई भी हमारी बहुत ज़्यादा online होने लग गई है, because it's convenient, right? It's a convenient mode, and using technology for the benefit of humankind is very good. Technology has benefited us massively, बहुत massively benefit किया है. But there are downsides also. Getting addicted to online games, मतलब घंटों ही आप खाना पीना छोड़ के सिर्फ ऑनलाइन गेम्स खेल रहे हो, that is not good for your health, है ना? इसीलिए इवन फॉर स्टडिंग सेशंस आई इंसिस्ट कि आप लैपटॉप से ज्वाइन करो, कंप्यूटर से ज्वाइन करो, एज अपोज टू योर फोन, ताकि आपकी आईज पे भी स्ट्रेन कम पड़े. करेक्ट? Okay, so these are all very good reasons that you will add in your letter to tell the editor why it's necessary that a playground should be constructed for children to play in. Safe place भी a very good point. See, ये तो ऑब्वियस पॉइंट्स है, ये दिमाग में इमीडिएटली आ जाते हैं कि इट्स एक्सरसाइज है, हेल्दी रहना है, फिट रहना है, ठीक है, एंजॉय करना है, रिलैक्स करना है। ये देखो आ गए ना पबजी वाले, मुझे लगा ही था ये पबजी वाले आएंगे कोई ना कोई यहाँ पे। ठीक है, इट्स फाइन, थोड़ा थोड़ा देर खेल लो, डोंट गेट अडिक्टेड, एडिक्शन इज वेरी बैड। व्हेन यू स्टॉप डूइंग एनीथिंग एल्स, पढ़ाई छोड़ दी, खाना पीना छोड़ दिया, माँ बाप से बात करनी बंद कर दी, बहन भाई से बात करना बंद कर दिया, फ्रेंड से मिलना छोड़ दिया, क्यों? क्योंकि हम फोन पे खेल रहे हैं। वेरी बैड, ये नहीं करना है। अपने आप पे लिमिट लगाओ कि आधे घंटे से ज्यादा नहीं खेलूंगा मैं। ओके, ग्रेट। सो दीज 2 पॉइंट्स आर ऑब्वियस पॉइंट्स, ये तो समझ में आ ही जाते हैं, बट दीज are amazing points that will take your letter from here to here, ठीक है? And you only came up with these points. I didn't tell you. आप लोगों ने ही मुझे बताया। मतलब आपकी लेटर इस लेवल पे होनी चाहिए अब एग्जाम में। ओके, लर्निंग सोशल स्किल्स, अवॉइडिंग ऑनलाइन गेम्स, गिविंग देम अ सेफ स्पेस टू प्ले। बाउंड्री होती है ना प्लेग्राउंड में, गाड़ियां नहीं आ सकती प्लेग्राउंड में। रोड्स पे जब बच्चे खेलते हैं तो गाड़ी आती जाती रहती है, लग सकती है किसी को भी, अनसेफ है, इनकन्वीनियंस भी है पासर बाइज के लिए, पासर्स बाइज, क्या कुछ भी प्लूरल बना दिया मैंने, पीपल हु आर पासिंग बाय, उनके लिए इनकन्वीनियंस भी होता है ना? सो गिव्स अ सेफ प्लेस फॉर देम टू प्ले। ऑल राइट, यस, they will learn good values like teamwork, interacting, making friends, building a community around them, है ना? All right, perfect. And it's good for everybody. See, a playground is not just necessarily for children, even though they will benefit massively from it. Even senior citizens can, for example, make very good use of playgrounds. You know, they want to do yoga early in the morning, they have a safe place to do it, correct? Excuse me. All right, very good. So you've given me fantastic points. I am very confident you'll write a very good formal letter. ठीक है? Now, informal letter, क्या difference है apart from this in that is coming? कि हमने डिस्कस किया था formal letter serious official matters के लिए है, informal letter is for personal communication. आपने अपने दोस्त को लिख दिया, बहन भाई को लिख दिया, रिलेटिव को लिख दिया, हाल चाल पूछने के लिए, कोई इंपॉर्टेंट इन्फॉर्मेशन देने के लिए, ठीक है? नाउ इनफॉर्मल लेटर फॉर मोस्ट पार्ट हैज बीन रिप्लेस्ड बाय टिक 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 टिक। आजकल हम इनफॉर्मल लेटर नहीं लिखते, हम व्हाट्सएप भेज देते कि क्या हाल है, क्या कर रहे हो, ठीक है? पर एक टाइम था, और आप पूछना अपने दादा दादी नाना नानी से, वो चिट्ठियां लिखते थे और वो इतने दिनों बाद पहुंचती थी। इस तरीके से लोगों को हालचाल पता लगता था एक दूसरे का। ऐसा नहीं है कि फोन उठाया, वीडियो कॉल कर ली, सब देख लिया क्या चल रहा है क्या नहीं चल रहा है, ऐसा नहीं होता था पहले, ठीक है? सो वी आर वेरी लकी दैट वी हैव दिस ग्रेट एडवांटेज। टेक्नोलॉजी इतनी दूर तक पहुंच चुकी है कि हमें एक एक हफ्ते, दो दो हफ्ते, महीने महीने वेट नहीं करना पड़ता है किसी का हालचाल पूछने के लिए। somebody who is very close to us is far far away, we can just video call them और हमें immediately पता चल जाएगा उनका क्या हाल है, okay? But exam में if this comes, then there's no strict format, very easy format, okay? We'll first write just sender का name and address. जैसे हमने formal letter start की थी वैसे हम informal letter start करेंगे. Then we'll skip the receiver. We'll just write date, salutation, okay? So salutation में dear and whatever the name of the person you're writing to is. For example, if it's Soumya, then I'll write dear Soumya, okay? And you will end with a compliment. इसमें yours के बाद आपका जो मन करे लगा दो, lovingly लगा दो, ठीक है? affectionately लगा दो, जो मन करे, and your signature. Easier, much easier than formal letter, ठीक है? Now write an informal letter to your friend telling her about your upcoming trip. आपको इसमें information क्या है? upcoming trip, friend को लिखना है, friend का नाम कुछ भी हो सकता है, upcoming trip कहीं पे भी हो सकता है, जहां हमेशा से मन था आपका जाने का वो लिख दो, ठीक है? So here senders information लिख दिया, date लिख दिया, salutation लिख दिया. Then we are writing, dear Ankita, I hope you're well. I'm so excited that I absolutely had to write this letter to you. Why am I excited? I'm going to a trip to Colombo in August. I was so happy when Mama and Papa told me that I was all smiles. Okay, all smiles means couldn't stop smiling. I absolutely had to tell you about it right away. I remember that you told me you've been there before. Can you let me know what to expect and what kind of clothes I should bring to the trip? Also, is there any specific place I should not miss visiting? Tell me all this and more. I wish we could meet and talk all about this in person. Is there any chance you could join us on this trip? I would love for you to come with us. I can ask Mama and Papa to talk to your parents. Imagine how much fun the trip will be. Okay? Great. कुछ भी लिख सकते हो इसमें ये जो भी लिखा है कुछ भी लिख सकते हो आपका जो मन करे as long as it applies to the question. ठीक है? Hridesh, the receiver will receive the letter because when you post the letter, जब जहाँ जिस जगह से जाके आप पोस्ट करोगे वहाँ पे आप उनका एड्रेस दोगे और आप जो envelope है उसके ऊपर भी लिखोगे receiver का एड्रेस क्या है. That's how they'll receive it. But inside the letter you don't have to write. Okay? No, Ayush, if you want to get 0 marks, then you do this in your exam. Okay. This was a long letter. You can make it shorter, obviously. Okay. This is still going on. Itni lambi letter hai. Do tell me what you think. How is everything else with you? I hope you've recovered from a nasty bit of viral fever. ये भी डाल दिया हमने. Imaginary. कि उसको वायरल हुआ होगा हम पूछ लेते हैं क्या हाल चाल है. Please give my love to your parents. Take care. Yours affectionately, Asmita. Okay? What a good friend inviting for international trip. I know. I wish I had a friend like this. My friends don't invite me for international. They'll go abroad and they'll send me pictures कि देखो मैं गया था या गई थी. है ना? ऐसे friends होने चाहिए साथ में लेके जाएं. I agree with you. Who's my favorite Avenger? I'll have to think about this. Because I think Thor only is my favorite. Okay. Okay, but from like Doctor Strange also. I think I'll change my answer to Doctor Strange. Anyway, this is not what we are discussing. Don't distract me. Who teases you a lot? Anviti? Your friends. Okay, the friends who tease you, and if you feel bad, tell them you're feeling bad and you don't appreciate this, okay? Don't let them make fun of you and then feel bad about it silently. Let them know that you don't like this. Stand up for yourself. Okay. Now, here's another prompt. Write an informal letter to your parents. Imagine you've moved to a hostel for the first time and are writing a letter to them to let them know you're fine but you miss them. It could be about to both your parents. It could be either to your mom or your dad. I'll tell you why after we are done with this. पहले पढ़ाई फिर बातचीत. Okay, if you're left with some time, then I'll tell you. Okay, so you've moved to a hostel. You're fine, but you miss them. ये पढ़ते ही मेरे दिमाग में वो मूवी का सीन आ गया जो वो गाना. What is the name of the movie? अरे पर अंधेरे से डरता हूँ मैं माँ. That song कौन सी मूवी का है? मूवी का नाम क्यों नहीं याद आ रहा? तारे ज़मीन पर. Yes, I don't know why I forgot the name of the movie, but that's the scene that came to my head. कि हॉस्टल जाके सैड लग रहा है पर मम्मी को ज़्यादा बोलेंगे तो मम्मी को भी बुरा लगेगा तो कम बताते हैं. बोलते मैं ठीक हूँ लेकिन मेरे को उनकी बहुत याद आ रही है. ठीक है, ये वाली फीलिंग आ रही है ना थोड़ी सी. so, ये यूज़ कर सकते हैं. इफ़ यू सीन इट इन अ मूवी, आपने किसी मूवी में देखा और आप उसको यूज़ करना चाहते हो अपनी लेटर में, यूज़ दोज इमोशंस इन योर लेटर. दैट्स कम्प्लीटली फाइन. ठीक है. सो व्हाट सम ऑफ अस आर वेरी हैप्पी टू गेट अवे फ्रॉम होम. हॉस्टल भेज दिया, अच्छी बात है. वाह. Shailesh, okay, we'll discuss some idioms of being happy after we're done covering all the syllabus, okay? So, what are we going to write? What is it? We're going to say, we miss you. Then we can talk about we can say everything is fine. We can talk about your roommate. That my roommate is very nice. You could talk about the friends you made. Okay. You could talk about your teachers, the teacher that you like. You could talk about the food कि आप जितना अच्छा खाना घर पे मिलता था उतना नहीं है, but the food is still nice. Okay, but I miss your food. Okay. Can't wait to see you soon. Alright, these are the kind of things you can talk about. Teacher is very strict बोल सकते हो. Teacher is very nice भी बोल सकते हो. जो मन करे बोल सकते हो. Okay? Toxic हमेशा तो नहीं होते. I have had some amazing roommates. I had a blast with them in college. Yes, I'm missing the food that I get at home, but the food here is not that bad. It's a little too salty, too sweet, but it's okay, I'll manage. I promise to study well, and I really look forward to meeting you again, coming back home in the vacations. ठीक है? Alright, perfect. ठीक है. Now we have reached articles. Letter done? Perfect. आ गया समझ में? आर्टिकल पे आते हैं. What is an article? कौन बता सकता है? और हम कितने आर्टिकल्स पढ़ते हैं? मैगजीन में पढ़ते हैं, ऑनलाइन पढ़ते हैं. What is an article? And this time I don't want Shailesh to give me the answer first. He's been giving me. अच्छा, you're saying newspapers, जिक्र also. नहीं, article newspaper थोड़ी है. Newspaper में articles होते हैं. But what is an article? Amit, first you tell me what is an article, then I'll tell you why I like Doctor Strange. A and the very smart answer. Satyavati, not wrong, but not correct also over here. और ये देखो Constitution में पहुंच गए. Very good. Yes, Hridesh, fantastic. किसी भी टॉपिक पर इंफॉर्मेशन देना इज एन आर्टिकल. किसी भी टॉपिक पर. वेरी गुड अनविति. यस. When you write about a certain topic or read about a certain topic and it's giving you some information, that's an article. ठीक है? अब जिन्होंने गूगल किया वो मेरे को ए एंड द वाला आर्टिकल बता रहे, पर मैं दूसरे आर्टिकल के बारे में पूछ रही हूँ. ओके? Perfect. Now, it's a piece of writing that expresses a person's thoughts on a given topic. It is typically written for newspaper or magazine. आजकल online भी हमें बहुत articles मिल रहे हैं. Correct? Okay. While writing articles, be clear about why we are writing them. So the first thing that you need to keep in mind is कि मेरा topic क्या है. अब मैं उस topic पर ही article लिखूंगी. मैं इधर उधर 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 हर चीज के बारे में नहीं लिखूंगी. I will stick to the topic. Okay? Know the audience. किसके लिए लिख रहे हो? Are you writing for little kids? Are you writing for teenagers? Are you writing for just women? Are you writing to men? Are you writing to Indians? Are you writing to an international audience? Who are you writing to? Know your audience and उस तरीके से आर्टिकल लिखना कि उनको समझ में आए. Correct? Then use catchy titles. Whenever I also pick up the newspaper or I'll look at the headline, जो मेरे को interesting लगी वो मैं पढ़ लूँगी. ऑनलाइन आर्टिकल मेरे को इतने सारे recommend होते हैं, पर जो मुझे interesting लगेगा वो मैं पढ़ूंगी. Interesting कैसे लगता है? Because of the catchy title. ठीक है? So, make sure you're giving your article a catchy title. Next, should be engaging, should not be boring, should be well organized. And well organized is what makes it engaging. If it's organized properly, if it makes sense, ऐसा कि आप आर्टिकल पढ़ रहे हो पर कुछ समझ ही नहीं आ रहा, ऐसा लग रहा है कोई और ही लैंग्वेज पढ़ने लग गए, तो nobody will be interested in reading it, right? So make sure it's well organized and factually accurate. See, you can give your opinion for sure, but whenever you're stating a fact, that cannot be wrong. That has to be correct. You can give your opinion on the fact. That can be different from person to person. The fact, can a fact be different from person to person? Yes or no? Can a fact be different for me and then different for you? No, right? Niharika, very good. Tasmiya, Isma, perfect. Yes, sir. Isma, yes, बोल रही है. Sorry, no. Can a fact be different for me and different for you? No, it cannot. क्योंकि fact है. Fact will not change. Correct? Okay. If I tell you my name is Asmita and you're coming and telling me, no, actually I think your name is Anviti. Is that true? No. I'm telling you my name is Asmita. You cannot come and tell me कि नहीं, your name is Anviti. Mine or your name is Isma. Because the fact that my name is Asmita is what? A fact. Cannot change. But an opinion can change. Come and tell me, I think your name is very nice. I think your name is a little weird. Whatever your opinion is, that's your opinion. It can change. It can be different. Fact cannot be different. Alright, so what is the format of our article? It has a title or a heading. It has an intro. Deep dive. What is a deep dive? Who can tell me? What do you think a deep dive is? In detail, very good. अब फिर शैलेश ने करेक्ट आंसर पहले दे दिया. डीप डाइव मीन्स बहुत ही डिटेल में हम किसी चीज के बारे में बता रहे हैं. ओके, द टॉपिक इन डिटेल. वेरी गुड रिदेश, वेरी गुड. Whoever has given me the answer, Azma. Okay, perfect. So डिटेल में बताना and then summarize करके conclude करना. This is the format of our article. Now, here's our question. Write an article about preparing for exams. Now, this is a topic that is geared towards what kind of audience? What kind of audience will we write this article for? Will we write it for 60 plus years old people? Are we going to write it for 2-year-olds? जिनको वैसे ही पढ़ना नहीं आता. Students, very good. We are going to write this for students, either school going or college going students, because they are the ones who have to prepare for exams. Correct? Correct? So audience को अपने ध्यान में रख लिया किसके लिए लिख रहे हैं, and what kind of information are you going to give here? Quickly, let's discuss this. What kind of information you can talk about? There's a very important topic that you can actually talk about here. पढ़ाई लिखाई तो आप लिख ही लोगे, है ना, कि इतना पढ़ना है, पहले से पढ़ना स्टार्ट करो. But there's a very important topic you can talk about in this article, which is stress management. Do not get stressed out when you're preparing for your exams, because it's counterintuitive. That will not let you prepare properly. Okay? Anybody can write articles. You don't have to be a journalist to write articles. When you become an expert in a field, see, you pick up the newspaper and you read. A lot of editorials, they're long articles about specific issues. They're not written by journalists. They're written by experts in a particular field. If it's about a medical breakthrough or something to do with, supposing vaccines के बारे में इतनी बात हुई, COVID-19 के बारे में इतनी बात हुई, कौन वो articles लिख रहा था? Doctors लिख रहे थे, medical professionals लिख रहे थे, journalists नहीं लिख रहे थे. So you will become an expert in some field or the other later in life, right? So you can write articles about that field. Okay? Researchers can write articles. Absolutely. So here we can talk about why exams happen. Exams होते क्यों हैं? To test whether you've understood something or not. Why you shouldn't stress out too much before exams. How you should take care of your health before exams. And how you can manage your time. Time management, stress management. How you can create a schedule for yourself and figure out the best way to study. Okay? Very good. Hridesh has given us 3 very good points. Do not stress. Prepare well. Keep revising whatever you have to. Great. So here are the hints given to you that you can add to your article. So whenever you've been given a topic, whenever you're given a topic for article writing, it's not necessary that you are an expert on that topic. So you will get hints that you can use to put in your article. And those of you who are saying कि मैं ये लिखूंगा कि exams are boring, उनको फिर boring exams में 0 marks ही मिलने वाले हैं. Okay, so even if you feel like that, see, that's your opinion, it's fine. Here you're writing to an audience that has to prepare for exams. If you say exams are boring, then they will get no useful information about how they should prepare for the exams. So is that a good article? No. Will anybody read that article? No. Then what's the point? So here, tests are a teacher's way of measuring what the kids know or have understood. Endless hours of preparation are not required. So don't stress yourself out by studying for 16 hours, 18 hours in a day. Okay? Taking breaks is mandatory, not just necessary, it's mandatory. If you don't take breaks, after a while nothing will go inside your head. ठीक है? तो point क्या हुआ पढ़ाई करने का जब सर में कुछ घुस ही नहीं रहा है? Plan such that you have more time to prepare for difficult subjects. Try to take revision mock tests before the exam. Know all key dates for the exams and don't worry. Okay? So, and the points that you're giving, very good points. You can add those to your article. Some of the points that all of you are giving are very good. Okay? So, here is your sample article. Again, like I told you, if a word limit hasn't been specified, then your go-to limit should be this only. If it's given in your exam कि इतने words में लिखो, follow that limit. नहीं दिया हुआ, तो this is your safe limit. 100 भी लिख सकते हो, 120 to 150. Okay? All right. हाँ. 2 lakh words लिखना पूरे दिन, नेक्स्ट डे तक एग्जाम ही देते रहना. आप बैठे रहेंगे ना आपके लिए इन्विजिलेटर पूरे दिन पूरी रात कि नहीं वो एग्जाम दे रहा है, 2 lakh words लिख के आ रहा है. Okay, preparing for exams is something that requires careful planning. There are many different ways in which students prepare for their exams. Notably, some of them study a little every day, some create a dedicated schedule some time before their exams and study based on that, and some cram in the last minute. कौन सी कैटेगरी में आते हो आप? 3 categories बताइए. Some study a little every day, some create a dedicated schedule before their exams, and some cram in the last minute. Which category? First, second या third? Tell me. अच्छा, first और second. Third भी होंगे पर वो बताएंगे नहीं कि हम third category में. कौन है वो honest student? हाँ देखो आया ना, honesty. Very good. ये category भी बहुत होती है, मेरे को पता है. But it's fine. If it's working for you, it's fine. If you're able to manage your time and stress this way, okay. ठीक है? But it's good to be honest. I appreciate your honesty. ठीक है? So, ये हमने बता दिया. कुछ सब लोग अलग अलग वे में प्रिपेयर करते हैं. While each type of preparation might suit the kind of person the student is, it is always better to adhere to a specific schedules. Those of you who said कि toppers follow number 2, maybe you were right. हो सकता है toppers हमेशा number 2 follow करते हो. But before that, it is important to know that tests are just a teacher's way of measuring what the kids know or have understood. मतलब exams important है, पर क्या आपकी लाइफ से ज़्यादा important है? नहीं. एक एग्ज़ाम अगर ख़राब हो गया, does that mean कि सब ख़त्म हो गया? नहीं. ठीक है? तो डिप्रेस नहीं होना है कि एक एग्ज़ाम ख़राब हो गया तो. Now, coming to the preparation part itself, do not think that you'll have to prepare for hours on end without taking a break. You can take plenty of breaks and it's actually good for you to take breaks. So make a schedule with plenty of breaks marked in it. The best way to go about preparing a schedule would be to know all the key dates for the exams. Knowing when it starts is important. You should know the number of days you get before and between your exams. This would help you plan better. Once you know all these, you can plan such that you have the most time for the subjects that you find are the most difficult for you. You can also try to squeeze in some revision exams or mock tests to get a feel of the exam. All in all, you need not worry about your exams. It is never too late to prepare. Create a schedule and stick to it. Plan around your exam dates and don't forget to take plenty of breaks. All the very best. ठीक है? जो hints में दिया हुआ था उसको हमने अच्छी तरीके से आर्टिकल में डाल के लिख दिया. Okay? And because your exams are coming up, this is something you can apply to your own lives also. Now, write an article about global warming and climate change. For those of you who don't know what global warming and climate change is, do not panic. Here are your hints. You're given the hints. Global warming is leading to increased temperature. So, Earth ka temperature is increasing. Trapped gases cause warming. Okay? CFCs. All our emissions, carbon emissions, all these things are causing the temperature of the Earth to rise. An increase of less than 1 degree Celsius of temperature over time causes excessive melting of polar ice caps. Okay? Rising sea levels and severe storms are becoming more common, which is something you're observing. There are weird patterns in the weather, in the climate. कभी इतनी बारिश हो जाएगी कि बाढ़ आ जाती है. You can see right now the kind of destruction that is happening in Himachal. And कभी forest fires लग रही है दुनिया में कहीं. कभी इतनी गर्मी होती है कि heat stroke से लोग मर रहे होते हैं. So, lot of these erratic changes in the climate are happening. Acidification of rain and oceans is causing other problems for wildlife and human population dependent on them. Preventive measures are to be undertaken without delay to avoid catastrophe. Catastrophe means complete disaster. Okay? Yes, Tasmia, you will get hints. Okay, see, whatever we are writing, all of it has paragraphs in it, right? You're given a topic, you're supposed to write a paragraph about it. It's the same concept. एक टॉपिक आपको मिला है, उसके बारे में लिखना है. आर्टिकल में भी तो वही कर रहे हो, पैराग्राफ में भी वही करोगे. ठीक है, उसको इतना डिफरेंटली मत सोचो. अब आर्टिकल और स्टोरीज में फर्क ये है कि आर्टिकल इज फैक्चुअल, स्टोरीज आर फिक्शनल. हु कैन टेल मी व्हाट फिक्शनल इज? फिक्शन क्या होता है? एक है फैक्ट, वो हमें पता है क्या है. फिक्शन क्या है? यस शैलेश, वेरी गुड. क्या बोला था मैंने? यहाँ पे इतना कुछ है, उसके पास एक बहुत अच्छी सुपर पावर है कि वो इमेजिन कर सकता है वो चीजें जो रियल में नहीं हो रही है. नॉट रियल, इमेजिन. दैट इज फिक्शन. सो स्टोरीज आर फिक्शन. इट्स नॉट जब कुछ सच में हुआ होता है हम उसको ट्रू स्टोरी क्यों बोलते हैं? बिकॉज स्टोरी बाय इटसेल्फ मीन्स कि इट्स फिक्शन. इट्स समथिंग दैट यू हैव कम अप विद यूजिंग योर इमेजिनेशन. ओके, ऑलराइट, बैक टू दिस. So who can give me a title? Who can give me a catchy title for an article on global warming? Let's see. Cyber security कौन बोल रहा है? Our changing world is a very good. Earth is burning. That's a great title. Very good. Perfect. Okay. Now I'll give you also a nice title. Searing heat, melting ice. A climate disaster in the making. Okay, serious title एकदम. All right, save the planet. Yes, act now before it's too late. Very good. So all of you are able to come up with nice, interesting titles. Hints में already आपको information दी गई थी. Okay, so use that information to talk about how climate change is a real issue. Okay. This happened because of pollution, okay, and because of all the greenhouse gases, because the population has increased so much, and because our carbon emissions have increased so much. Okay, so these are all the points you can add. What else can you write? You can write that all of us, first of all, there needs to be individual change, so that we change our individual habits. Carpool karna start karo, make sure deforestation doesn't happen, trees are not cut, all of these things. And then there needs to be governmental action also. So governments need to come together and create laws that make sure that that global warming is taken seriously by all governments around the world, and that they're creating laws to make sure that we don't cause further damage. Okay, which is something that already is happening in the world. All right, so before the situation gets worse, The countries of the world should come together to solve the problem. The need of the hour is a global shift to sustainable solutions for our energy and other needs. And those of you who are following the news, you know that there are alternative energy के बारे में बहुत research हो रही है. So अभी हम लोग fossil fuels burn करके अपनी सारी energy बना रहे हैं. So there are other ways in which we can get energy as well. Some of you must have heard about these other ways, so you can add them to your article. Okay, whatever information you know. Yes, planting trees, easiest thing that you can do. Okay, easiest thing that you can add, because all of you know this, trees are good for our environment. Deforestation is bad. Use public transportation. Very good. Okay, so these are the points you'll add. Now let's quickly, it's almost time for us to wrap up. So let's get to report writing, which is the last thing that we're going to cover today. So writing में I told you बहुत overlap हो रहा है. Those of you stressing out about paragraph writing, it's like article writing. कोई topic मिलेगा उस पर paragraph लिखना है, topic मिला है उस पर article लिखना है. अब report किस चीज़ पे लिखोगे? Topic नहीं मिलेगा. And yes, a lot of you are saying hydrogen, solar, water, dams, say, yes, those are all alternate sources of energy. So you should research this. So English अलग subject नहीं है. आप अपने science में जो पढ़ते हो, social studies में जो पढ़ते हो, अलग अलग subjects में पढ़ रहे हो, use all of that knowledge in your writing skills. ठीक है? Yes, a report presents information. Okay? It is usually written, can be oral, but it's to tell any particular audience about something that has happened. So usually an event. So report में क्या होगा, कोई event हुआ होगा और आपको उसकी report देनी है. हम ऐसे बहुत बारी बोलते हैं ना कि मुझे report दो, क्या हुआ. तो report देना क्या होता है कि आप बता रहे हो exactly उस event में क्या क्या हुआ था, सारे important details बता रहे हो, सारे highlights बता रहे हो, ठीक है. And तो इसमें भी let's quickly say report is a factual summary. So we can say it's a factual summary. इसमें आप opinion नहीं दे रहे हो अपना. अभी हमने देखा था facts versus opinion क्या होता है. तो इसमें आप अपना opinion नहीं दोगे, आप बता रहे हो exactly कि उस event में क्या क्या हुआ था. अब जो हुआ था वो हुआ था. If you attended that event and I attended that event, everything that happened remains the same for you and me. How we felt about it might be different, but factually तो same रहेगा, right? It's a factual summary of events, topics or data. And it's always factual, aimed at educating the people who read them. Okay? And reports सबसे ज़्यादा कौन लिखता है? Newspapers में journalists write a lot of reports. Different चीज़ की reports मिलती हैं आपको newspaper में, right? But mostly जो question आता है, it's usually about an event that has happened that you have to report. Okay? Yeah, like interviews do. Very good. So the report format will vary depending upon the type of report, but a certain basic template can be used. What is that template? And reports are written in third person because it's not personal. जैसे diary entry इतनी personal है, हम first person में लिखते हैं. Reports are written in third person. Okay? Now, we will add an executive summary, intro, body, conclusion. Now, intro, body, conclusion is something that throughout our writings we are utilizing. Everything we write, it has an intro, body and conclusion. इसमें क्या है? Executive summary. Now, executive summary में आप crux of the information, जो भी report है, उसकी पूरा crux बता देते हो कि this is what happened and this is what the result was. Summary देने के बाद आप detail में घुसते हो, ठीक है? तो detail में जाने से पहले आप एक summary देते हो, उसको हम executive summary बोलते हैं. All right? Now, write a report about the annual sports day in your school. So ये report किस चीज़ के बारे में हो गई? It's about an event. Okay? So you attended the event. Different things happened in the event. You're supposed to report all the different things that happened. Okay? So here's how we can do that. हमारा स्कूल वही चल रहा है जो नोटिस से चल रहा था. ABC Senior Secondary School celebrated its annual sports day on 14 July 2023. The event was well attended by all the students and their parents. Okay? This is the general summary कि कौन सा स्कूल है, annual day कौन सा event के बारे में हम बात करने वाले, कब वो event हुआ था और कौन-कौन उस event पे आया था. Okay? Then we go into more detail about the different things that happened during the annual day. So, the event began with the organizers welcoming the chief guest, Mr. Himanshu Kumar, DGP, New Delhi. He then lit the diyas on the dais and declared this. Okay, this is a sports meet open. The event began with a group of students from the 5th standard performing a colorful drill. The next event was gymnastics, performed by the school team. The expertise that the gymnasts showed was commendable. The chief guest was visibly impressed. Now, isme, like Anshika, right? If I'm getting your name right, Hridesh. So, you can put imagine कि sports day क्या हुआ होगा और उसको आप लिख दो. जरूरी नहीं है कि आप यही फॉलो करो, ये तो हमने इमेजिन करके लिख दिया कुछ भी. आप इमेजिन करो, ठीक है, चीफ गेस्ट आया, उन्होंने स्पीच दी, दिया लाइट किया, कमेंट्स हुआ, मार्च पास्ट हुई, ये वाला कंपटीशन हुआ, रिले रेस हुई, उसके बाद सबको अवार्ड्स मिले, जिन्होंने बहुत एक्सेप्शनल स्पोर्ट एबिलिटी दिखाई है उन सबको स्पेशल मेंशन मिला, उसके बाद एक डांस परफॉर्मेंस हुई या ड्रिल हुआ, व्हाटएवर यू इमेजिन इन योर हेड कि स्पोर्ट्स डे कैसा होता होगा, एंड जस्ट राइट इट डाउन इन द रिपोर्ट. दैट्स ऑल. Then, the students from the pre-primary classes had a couple of events like the running race, lemon in the spoon, and so on. The games were enjoyed by all. The winners were all awarded small trophies. Then, it was time for the march past, followed by the award ceremony. The chief guest personally handed over the awards for the winners in football, basketball, and other sports. The house cup was also awarded during this time. The Dove House won the cup for the 5th time in a row. आपके स्कूल में जो भी house के नाम होते हैं, आप वो house लिख सकते हो. Finally, after the performance of the national anthem, the chief guest declared the meet closed and the sports day event was over. बहुत ही factual तरीके से, अरे जिम्नास्टिक की स्पेलिंग तो सही लिखो, जे से थोड़ी स्टार्ट होता है. Be careful about your spellings. Felicitation is one word, should come together. Okay? Shailesh, your own comments, जैसे इसमें थोड़ा सा लिखा है, the expertise was commendable, but it's not a very personal opinion. It's something that the chief guest was also showing on their face. कभी कभार परफॉर्मेंस इतनी स्पेक्टेकुलर होती है कि आपको पता है कि सबको ही स्पेक्टेकुलर लगेगी, पर आप अपना हर चीज में अपने पर्सनल कमेंट्स मत डालो. रिपोर्ट में आपको सिर्फ फैक्चुअल इन्फॉर्मेशन लिखनी है. ओके, यस, यू हैव टू डिफाइन इट इन योर ओन लैंग्वेज. ओके, नाउ let's quickly go through our last prompt and wrap up in 3 minutes. Write a report about a chess competition in your neighborhood. What is this? Chess competition neighborhood. Executive summary में क्या क्या लिखोगे कि इस neighborhood में chess competition हुआ था इस date पे. Okay? कहाँ पे हुआ था? You can write anything. You can write community hall में हुआ था. It happened in the community hall. All members of the society attended the competition. Okay, the name of the competition was Grand Masters of Tomorrow. What other information can you add? Who was participating? So you can add age range कि किस age से किस age के लोग participate करे थे. Okay, what other information can you add? Quickly. टाइमिंग्स, कितने कंटेस्टेंट्स थे, नंबर ऑफ कंटेस्टेंट्स, ओके, व्हाट एल्स? हाँ, आई नो आई एम राइटिंग वेरी बैड हैंड राइटिंग, जल्दी में, एज लॉन्ग एज यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड. देन हु रीच द फाइनल्स? फर्स्ट मैच किसने खेला, फाइनल मैच किसने खेला. Okay, so names, I'm trying to write in better handwriting. Okay, then who was the winner, who was the runner up. Okay, their ages. What else can you write? Refreshments. Very good. Perfect, Anu. Refreshments were provided at so and so time. Winner was announced at so and so time. Prizes were distributed. Very good. And you can also write that while the matches were taking place, to entertain the rest of the people who are attending the event, there were some stalls that were set up with different things happening in the stalls. कहीं भी, जहाँ भी आपकी इमेजिन, as long as you're covering the main points कि चेस का competition था and contestants कितने थे, कौन जीता, कितने उससे जीता. As long as you're giving all of that main information, you can add anything else to your event that you feel like. Okay? Now, if you add music to the background, that might distract the chess players. I don't know, but it's something you can add. आपका event है. Think कि आप ही organize कर रहे हो अगर ऐसा event तो कैसे करोगे और उसी को report में लिख दो कि ये हुआ था. But report is about something that has already happened. So make sure you write it correctly. कि this happened past tense में. Okay? Yes. Perfect. That brings us to the end. We covered so much. I know last में थोड़ा quickly किया, but I hope everything was clear. If you have doubts, feel free to leave them in the comments. I will gladly clarify those doubts for you. And like I told you कि आप अपना जब भी whenever you don't know what the word limit is, when it's not specified, make sure you're just specifying all the information that you think is necessary, and 120 to 150 is your safe limit. Okay? Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Don't miss out on any of our updates by just not subscribing. That would be a huge loss for you, right? And I will see you very soon. See if the videos are helping you. Make sure you hit that like button so that we get to know that they're helping you. Take very good care of yourselves. Don't stress out. We'll be preparing for the exams. And any other doubts, questions that you have, leave them in the comments. Maybe next time when I come, I'll tell you why I like Doctor Strange the most. And those of you who are asking me questions like what are nice idioms for being happy, I would tell you that how about next time I come, and you'll get the schedule very soon, we'll discuss idioms for when you're happy, idioms for when you're sad, idioms for when you're angry. So come prepared in तीन चीजों के लिए, as many idioms as you can find. Do your research and get me these idioms, okay? And then we'll discuss them in the next session. Alright, take care. Bye bye. I will see you soon.